would be wrong to say it was swaying from side to side. It was actually shaking rather intensely. The room I was in, it was shaking from side to side. The shaking was quite irregular. Just when you thought it was a series of small shakes, it would suddenly shake violently. And every time that happened, I had to steady myself with my foot. I couldn't stand up very well, but for me, it was comforting. Voy a sacar mi micrófono para... I never thought not knowing what to expect could be so fun, so I was feeling rather excited. But I figured I'd get bored of that feeling soon enough. That's what I was expecting. For me, a person who is loved by talent, detecting regularities among irregularities won't be that difficult. How boring. Do you like ships? On the other side of the dark room, I heard a voice. It was clearly directed at me. You looked like you were having fun, so that's what I assumed. You do like ships, right? Ships? That's right. So this is a ship. You just realized that now? Is it really that funny? Hey, if you want, care to talk a little? The silence was starting to bore me. Instantly, I saw his true character. The overfamiliar attitude, the friendly smile. But under that thin skin, I could detect a foul, offensive odor. Some kind of putrid slime. In a sensible way, of course. How should I put this? It was a smell exclusive to those who were already finished. Nice to meet you. I'm Nagito Kamaeda. Anyway, lucky me. It's been a while since anyone was willing to talk to me, so to share a room with a person like that... Yep, I'm definitely lucky. Lucky? So that's your talent then. What a boring talent. A boring talent, huh? Well, that's exactly what it is. Over someone I'm meeting for the first time to say that so suddenly... That's because I have luck as well. Huh? Even I possess a talent as boring as luck. Possess, huh? I'm starting to get really interested. Who are you? You're obviously from Hope's Academy too, right? So you're one of us? But that's weird. This is the first time I've ever seen you. Hey, can you tell me why you're here? How did you end up here? How boring. Sorry. I'm often told I'm terrible at making conversation. Not you. This world. Huh? This world is full of boring people. People who lack talent stick together and oppress those who do possess talent. Even though they know they're insignificant, they don't try to acknowledge their true superiors. They are profoundly desperate to drag them down to their level. And because of these bastards, this world has come to a deadlock. This world has stopped evolving. How boring. Well, the world is shaped by the will of the majority. It makes sense that it bends to those who lack talent. That's why we're in our present situation. Perhaps. Does that have anything to do with the reason you're here? Boring people make no contributions to the world. Not even a speck of dust. That's why my teachers taught me that a certain degree of selection must be performed. Looks like they had high expectations for you, huh? That's completely different from me. But what are you planning to do? Now that you've ended up like this, there's nothing you can do, right? Listen well. Using people as a talent, too. It is now my turn to use that person, just as they used me in the past. That person? Are you talking about ultimate despair? But how? I mean, already. I have it with me. The contribution that person left to me. Even now. It rests in my pocket. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm definitely lucky. I can't believe I'm speaking with someone as amazing as you. then will I be able to see her again? Will I be able to see the person I hate with every fiber of my being again? And this time, will I be able to kill her this time? The person I hate so much. Hate? Then explain your hand. This. The end of that bandage. Oh, the end of that bandage. It's a woman's hand, right? Isn't it amazing? I can't move it, of course. I mean, it's not my hand after all. But even now, it still hasn't rotted. Hey, maybe that means it's becoming one with me. Isn't it amazing? I have successfully become one with the ultimate despair, my sworn enemy. I see. So you salvaged the body. You really are a boring person. I don't want you to misunderstand. Okay. Detuve el sonido del barco. Estaba muy molesto. Ya me voy a quitar el micrófono de mi boca. Porque ahora sí me deberían poder oír. I just see her as my enemy, you know. Because she's my sworn enemy. Because I hate her so much. That's why I took her power. And for that, Wait, huh? Do I hate her? Huh? That's strange. Huh? 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 Look out the window. We're finally here. You're starting to see it too, right? That's Jabberwock Island, isn't it? Isn't it exciting? I wonder what's going to happen on that island once we get there. What's going to happen? I can already predict what will happen. Huh? I already know because I am loved by talent. But no matter what happens, it's of no concern to me. I will not be able to participate in what lies ahead. Really? I don't really understand, but I guess we have to part ways for a while. That's disappointing. We seem to get along pretty well. Hey, can I see you again? There is no reason we'll ever meet again. After all, you're boring. Your talent, your thoughts, your entire existence is boring to me. You really don't play along, do you? What the fuck? Huh? What is this? It's a door. There's a door. Huh? A door? Why is a door here? Where am I? How did I get here? Where am I supposed to go? Huh? Isn't this a classroom? But even so, it's a very strange classroom. Why am I in a place like this? I went inside the ancient ruin with everyone else. And I arrived at a place that looked like a trial ground. But then, why? It's not connecting. I don't know why I'm here. It's like there's no connection between how I left the trial ground and how I ended up here. It's just like before, when we were all gathered in that classroom, just before we arrived at Jabberwock Island. Where is this place? Is it somewhere on Jabberwock Island?
Testing, testing. Mic check 1, 2. This is a test of the school broadcast system. Am I on? Can everyone hear me? Okay, well then. Welcome to Hope Speak Academy, you guys. At this point, I shall explain the graduation exam to you all. So please assemble at the gymnasium immediately.
Huh? Did he say what I think he just said? Yes, he definitely said it. He said, "Welcome to Hope Speak Academy." But why would this place be Hope Speak Academy? Not just that. What is a graduation exam? Isn't the killing over already? What the fuck? Es como simplemente un salón del Danganronpa 1? What is this? In a normal classroom there'd be a window, but instead there's this iron plate bolted here. Looks like it's a pretty thick iron plate. Is this to keep us trapped? What the heck? This place, where iron plates are covering the windows inside the classrooms. Is it really Hope Speak Academy? It's a surveillance camera. Why would there be a surveillance camera inside the school? I wonder. Does this have the same purpose as the surveillance cameras on Jabberwock Island? So, who's watching us? Is that whoever's controlling Monokuma? This clock doesn't have any hands. A clock without hands is meaningless. Why would something like this be in a classroom? Does this monitor serve the same purpose as the monitors on the island? So, this would be under Monokuma's supervision, right? Is this place really Hope Speak Academy? Damn it, what's going on?
No.
What the fuck is this place? Is this Hope Speak? Even the hallway doesn't feel like a school at all. What a creepy place. At least it doesn't look like a normal school at all. It's definitely a lie. There's no way this place is Hope Speak Academy. Is this creepy place the Hope Speak Academy that I've admired for so long? It's probably a building that Monokuma made to startle us. Just like the funhouse. That's right. That's definitely it. Monokuma said to come to the gymnasium, right? Then I'll go. And definitely clear things up. The Spare Hotel. Aquí estaban los cuartos de todos los cabrones. La puerta roja donde bajábamos a los class trials. Todo es igual excepto por estas cosas. AV room. Store. Pero está aquí. What the? Aquí está la bóveda de donde salieron los 6 sobrevivientes. Nurse. El segundo piso, los baños. ¿Qué chingados? The gymnasium is here, right? Alright, I'm going inside. Something might be waiting, but I'm not going to cower away anymore. So I braced myself and cautiously opened the door. I wasn't prepared for what was waiting for me on the other side of that door. Es igual. It was a normal gymnasium. Entonces, en verdad estoy en...
Damn right.
Yo, Hajime.
Yo.
Heard the announcement when came here too. You guys did too, right?
What's going on?
Hey, what do you make of all this? Monokuma said this place was Hope Speak Academy or something?
That is...
That cannot be possible.
Well, yeah.
You're right. Any way you look at it, it's impossible. Hello! How does it feel to return to long-awaited Host Peak Academy?
Why, you...
You.
You.
Hey, where are we? Where do you lock us up this time?
That's...
What a shock! I just told you guys this is Host Peak Academy.
Of course not!
There's no way in hell that's true.
No, no!
No, but it is. I mean, this is definitely Host Peak Academy. Oh, what's left of it anyway? What's left of it?
What?
Didn't I tell you before? Unfortunately, Host Peak Academy fell to ruin.
lies.
You were serious about that?
Stupid fool!
But of course it fell to ruin. I mean, they were doing things that they deserved to be ruined for. What do you mean?
I don't like this.
Anyway, I'm pretty disappointed. I went to all this trouble to bring you to Host Peak Academy. And you don't feel surprised or nostalgic.
Fine, fine.
Oh well, it's not like I did this for you guys. Even if you don't feel nostalgic, I'm sure someone is feeling nostalgic right now. Someone?
Don't fuck with me!
Enough with this bullshit, just spit it out already. You genius, you bastard. Though I'm not certain of my memories, I believe we entered the ancient ruin and
In other words,
it means we made this Host Peak Academy between the door to the ruin and the inside of the ruin.
You.
What do you mean between?
Hey, hey, hey!
What do you mean made?
what's this?
Oh my! Are your minds getting the grumblies that only knowledge can satisfy? Good. Very good. It's fine to hurry along to the graduation exam, but it's in my nature to provide a little entertainment. Entertainment? You're planning to make us do something, aren't you?
No way!
It's nothing to be so cautious about. It's not like you'll be making life exchanges or anything like that.
Shing!
It's just a simple graduation exam.
Huh?
And what is the graduation exam?
Hey,
Well, as a headmaster, I'm conflicted, you know? On one hand, I'm really happy that you're finally going to graduate.
are you sure about this?
But on the other hand, I'm worried about whether you guys will be okay in the outside world.
So,
That's why I'm thinking about telling you what the outside world is like before you make a decision. Whether you want to leave Jabberwock Island or stay here.
Why?
We're obviously gonna go out. There's no way we'd stay here.
That's right!
This is annoying. Just hurry up and let us choose. Let us choose right now.
no, no, no!
You can't do that. The main cast hasn't arrived yet. Main cast?
Hey,
Meaning, you guys are just extras until the guest of honor arrives.
damn it!
So, enough complaining already. Hurry up and start researching the outside world. What do you mean?
Uh-huh.
I have dispersed all the teaching materials you need for your research throughout Host Peak Academy. Well, I don't think this needs to be said, but all the information is accurate and contains no lies whatsoever. Otherwise, the main cast is gonna hate me. So please rest assured and strive to do your best during your field trip. And as usual, after leaving us with his cryptic words, Monokuma disappeared. Even if the setting had changed, even if the killing was finished, he was still the same as usual. What is going on? Outside world? Main cast? Somehow, I have a bad feeling about this.
Hey, hey!
Like, he kept insisting that this place is Host Peak Academy. But that's impossible, right?
What are you saying?
How do we make it back to Host Peak Academy from a tropical island in the first place? It's impossible.
It cannot be.
There's no place for Host Peak Academy to exist on Jabberwock Island.
Ah!
I said I wanted to go back, but I don't want to go back to a creepy place like this. What does this mean? So many things I don't understand about what happened on the island. This building. Is it really Hope's Peak Academy? This is the Hope's Peak Academy I've been admiring for so long? What in the world is going on? Damn it. Why is this happening? Why? I was finally able to attend Hope's Peak Academy. I finally thought I'd become confident in myself. Even so, if I really am a nobody, then you should have just left me alone. Why? Why do I have to go through something like this? Hajime, did something happen? Huh?
Hey, bastard!
Now's not the time to zone out. Sorry, it's nothing. I don't really get it, but is that all?
I'm gonna do it!
As long as I don't beat the crap out of Monokuma, nothing's gonna be solved. Is that what it means?
Hey,
So what the heck is Monokuma anyway? He's not part of the Future Foundation, right? If you say that, then what is the Future Foundation?
jeez.
And though Chiaki and Monomi are going, their situation hasn't changed one bit. Which means Future Foundation wasn't our enemy. It's the only thing I can think of.
You serious?
So they're not World Ender? Then we really were tricked by Monokuma?
However...
The Future Foundation is responsible for trapping us on this island, right? Regarding that matter, I believe Monomi never once denied that.
Damn it.
Even if they were allies, they might not just be allies. Maybe Monokuma is telling us to investigate that information on our own. Chiaki said she could not betray the Future Foundation. But if she were still alive, she definitely would have helped us. No. Even her just being with us would have been a big help. So what should we do?
Damn it.
Well, that's obvious. If we're gonna get out of here safely, we had to do that graduation exam, right?
So annoying.
Graduation exam, huh? I'm really good at taking exams. Well, I guess it's better if people dying.
Jeez.
Monokuma said something about a field trip, right? Is he telling us to investigate like we have been?
Alright!
I'm gonna do it.
Prepare yourself!
Like...
Yeah, we might be able to learn about something. About Hope's Peak Academy. About our souls. I don't care if we don't know anymore. If we can just go back to our normal lives, I'm fine.
Hey!
Can we go home when this is over? We can go home when this is over, right? We can finally get off this damn island, right? If that's the case, let's all leave this island alive by any means.
Of course!
Hell yes! He's right. Now's not the time to bemoan how lucky I am. Where this place really is, what's happened to Hope's Peak Academy. None of that matters. What's important is, I need to leave this island with the others. We sacrificed so many lives in order to survive just so we could do that. There's no way we can stop now. But Monokuma should already know that that's what we're thinking. So why did he say that? We have to decide on our own whether or not we want to leave Jabberwock Island. He should already know that we'd never choose to stay on this island.
Hey, hey!
So, what are we gonna do? We start already?
Hmm.
But what are we even looking for? We just have to investigate this weird-ass building?
Even so.
I don't think we'll find the answers to all of our questions inside this damn building.
Ah!
Well, just going ahead for now.
Whoa!
Hey, you're already going?
Jeez.
Is that idiot thinking running ahead without being cautious?
Man.
She obviously isn't thinking about anything.
However...
It will be fine. There will no longer be any situations where we must exchange each other's lives.
Alright!
So we should do our best as well. Like they say, it is not scary if everyone stops at a green light. If we stopped at the green light, we'd never reach our goal.
Jeez. You're pathetic.
Hana already took off on her own. Might be faster if we split up and look around too.
Huh.
Like Sonia said, there's no more killing. We don't have to worry about anyone betraying us anymore. And let's get this over with and go home.
Later.
We're going ahead. See you guys later. With those brief words, Fuyuhiko left the gymnasium.
Excuse me.
I will do my best to obtain a wonderful clue that will be useful to everyone. Now then, please excuse me. Sonia took a deep bow and left the gymnasium.
Oh my.
Miss Sonia,
Miss Sonia!
please don't leave me. I'll be in danger if I'm left alone. Kazuichi chased after Sonia, who had just departed, and left the gymnasium. I should hurry and start too. Just a bit more. Just a bit more, and it's going to end. I can escape this nightmare and return to my usual, peaceful, everyday life. The only thing we can do is advance toward that hope. Even though I don't understand, and that a lot of horrifying things keep happening, for the sake of everyone who couldn't make it this far, I'm definitely going to go home.
I knew you could do it!
El quinto piso. Ah, that's weird. This is the hallway I walked through to get to the gymnasium, but it's clearly different. Is this Monokuma's doing too? Is he trying to confuse us again? I don't know how he's doing it, but he keeps doing it over and over again. He's so persistent. But I'm not gonna fall for his trap. There's no way this will make me back down. This hallway. There's a strange feeling to it, no? As if an invisible wall has been erected to limit our movement.
I am concerned.
Is it just me? Este es el salón, ¿verdad? Sí, pero es el salón donde pasó esa masacre. El biolab. El que no puedo entrar, me imagino. Aquí debería estar el dojo y el jardín. Es el jardín. El dojo. Is this a dojo? It's full of strange things that make me think there's no way we're inside a school. Perhaps it's a mistake to expect the inside of this building to make sense. It's armor and a helmet. Did the map developers design this to reflect a Japanese dojo? This cherry tree is in full bloom. It may be a tasteful sight to see a blooming cherry tree inside a dojo, but in this situation, it just looks bizarre. That target seems pretty far away. If the production team had more time, there could have been a minigame here. Kitschy. Wait, what am I saying? The fourth wall is being broken. Falling petals add to the elegance of the scene. If Kyoko and Pekka were here, it would have looked truly picturesque. For their sakes as well, I will definitely go home. There's a straw post. I guess that means that was used for training. There are a bunch of wooden lockers here. Each of them has a traditional looking wood lock key sticking out of them. I guess they're just for show. There's nothing in particular that looks like a clue. What is this? Is this a manga? The title is Manga for Morons. A History of Hope Peak Academy by Monokuma? Why is a manga with such a suspicious looking title laying out in the open like this? Let's start with history first. Class!
Hey,
Reading manga is the third best way to learn about history. And what's the first, you ask? That depends on the person. So, just as I thought, Monokuma made this. That totally explains how suspicious it looks. I really want to just ignore it, but there's no way I can do that. Fine, I'll look at it. I'll look at anything that might be a clue to getting out of here, no matter what it is. Picked up the manga off the floor and started flipping through the pages. It's an introduction to Hope's Peak Academy's history, as narrated by the cutesy character on the cover. The story begins with an introduction to Hope's Peak Academy. Government-funded school of privilege where only the most talented high school students can hope to attend. Built to raise hope in the nation's future. Many of its alumni are key leaders of various industries. New students are chosen through a scouting process, but the ones who scout them are Hope's Peak Academy's teachers, who served as both educators and researchers of talent. Hope's Peak Academy isn't just a school for talent. It is also a school for researching talent as well. However, for the past few years, Hope's Peak Academy has been suffering from a decline in funding. If this persists, the Academy believes they will not be able to make progress with the research of talent. So they decided to implement a new system, the Reserve Department. Unlike the main department who scouts for students, the Reserve Department utilizes a general entrance exam. Normal faculty was hired and placed in charge of looking after the Reserve Department. The expenses and exam fees for the Reserve Department are quite high compared to most high schools. Nevertheless, Hope's Peak Academy received an endless stream of applicants. Hope's Peak Academy was now available to countless commoners, people who only cared about the brand. With this, Hope's Peak Academy managed to amass sizable funds, and began further research of talent. To create Hope's Peak Academy's earnest wish, a true genius would become mankind's hope. But just when they thought everything was going well, an unprecedented incident occurred. The incident that triggered the tragedy. Biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. That's right, it was the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Hope's Peak Academy was crippled by this incident, and was forced to shut down without accomplishing anything. The end. Huh? The ending was so sudden, like a manga that suddenly canceled in the middle of its run. Plus, these phrases mentioned at the end of this manga, the tragedy and the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, these names are so melodramatic. There's no way these incidents actually happened, right? The manga only mentions the names, so I don't really know the details, but no, it'd just be a waste of time to wonder about things that don't make sense. More importantly, I learned something because of this manga. The Reserve Department. That department was only built to collect money. I was one of those reserved course students, right?
But hold on.
That's weird. Oh, you're here again.
Shing!
The thing that's weird is you, of course. Huh?
Hey! Hey!
Why did you forget that you were a part of the Reserve Department? The Future Foundation only took away your school life memories, right? But you should have known, even before you entered that, you had no talent, right? So, I think it's weird that you actually forgot something like that, too. What do you want me to say?
By the way...
Based on my assumption, the Future Foundation must have wanted to hide the fact that you were one of those Reserve Corps students.
I got it!
Or you willingly steal those memories yourself. Huh? You wanted to be confident in yourself, so you wanted to forget everything that embarrassed you. You know, when humans experience trauma, sometimes they erase their memory of what happened. It happens pretty often. Not that I know anything about that, though. Are you saying that's my fault I forgot? That's not it.
Come on!
When things get inconvenient, you always get angry and try to brush it off. Well, that's expected of a reserve corps student. Damn it, what the heck?
What's going on?
This hallway, it's kinda creepy. Can't go to places that I should be able to go to. It's like some rule is being enforced for no reason. It's like there's an invisible wall or something. What the fuck? You're okay. This, another manga. It's laying on top of the desk. This one is Manga for Morons. The Tragedy of Hope Seek Academy, huh? Wasn't the Tragedy of Hope Seek Academy mentioned in that other manga too? That's why Hope Seek Academy went bankrupt, and it was the trigger for the biggest, most tragic, most awful event in human history. If I read this manga, will I be able to learn a little more about that incident? I took the manga from the desk and started flipping through the pages to see what I could learn about the event known as the Tragedy of Hope Seek Academy. The story made heavy use of outdated, stylized drawings depicting characters solving mysteries. What's written here is, as the name suggests, the Tragedy of Hope Seek Academy occurred at Hope Seek Academy. The key player in that event was a student named Isuru Kamukura. Isuru was a genius known as a symbol of hope. Hope Seek Academy used all their resources to develop him. Supposedly, Isuru was a genius among geniuses and possessed various talents, wielding superior talent for the hope of mankind. The Academy referred to Isuru as the ultimate hope. To protect such rare talent, the Academy completely concealed all evidence of Isuru's origins and identity. Because of that, most of the students at the Academy were completely unaware of Isuru's existence. But Isuru, who was known as a symbol of hope, was responsible for a horrible incident. 13 students of Hope Seek Academy Student Council, among the Academy's best and brightest, were brutally murdered by Isuru. However, the incident did not end there. The Academy tried to protect Isuru's superior talent and conceal the incident as though it never happened. However, a certain student began working in secret to use that incident to their advantage. That student uncovered what the Academy did, and by making that knowledge public, it stoked the fires of the Reserve Corps students, who had long been dissatisfied with how they'd been treated. And the uprising began, and that heralded Hope Seek Academy's destruction. This is the entirety of the tragedy of Hope Seek Academy. Eventually, that incident would lead to that horrifying, devastating incident. The incident that would be known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. We're excited. Danganronpa 0. What? With a heavy sigh, I closed the manga. Am I supposed to believe this? There's no way 13 people were killed at Hope Seek Academy. What irony! For a genius known as the ultimate hope to cause such a gruesome incident, a talent like that is too regal for society. It's like trying to buy juice with a bar of gold. You should be lucky that you're incompetent. Damn it, he always has to lead up to something offensive. It seriously pisses me off. But ultimate hope. Nagito mentioned that before too. But it looks like it means something completely different here. What Nagito said was the true meaning of hope. But for Isuru, hope simply means talent. More importantly, A genius who possesses various talents. I wish they'd given me one of those talents so I didn't have to be in the reserve department. That's right, the reserve department. Here, it said that the reserve corps students in the reserve department began uprising. Then what about me? Was I a participant too? No, that's not possible. There's no way. I have no reason to do something like that. Anyway, I've learned about the tragedy of Post-Week Academy, but the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is a far worse incident, right? What kind of incident was it? Who's this other student that isn't Isuru? A certain student who secretly used the incident to their advantage. Who is that? This incident is really messed up. But all it's doing is raising more questions. The mystery just keeps piling up. What the hell is with this room? It's freaking cold in here. It's like I'm in a freezer or something. If I just stand still, I might end up freezing to death. I should hurry up and investigate so I can get out of here already. The tarps? This looks like a plastic tarp. Why is this left out like this? Clean up after yourselves, will you? Those cadáveres. I've seen this in movies before. It's a refrigerator for preserving the bodies. At least, that's what it looks like. But that's not possible, right? Keeping the bodies in a high school biolab isn't something you should joke about. It just feels so forced. This idea should have been cancelled during development or something. What am I thinking?
I've been found!
There's another manga just laying around here. This time the title is Manga for Morons. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history? I knew it. The next one would obviously be about this incident. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, huh? Just what was that incident really all about? It might turn out to be something lame. I flipped through the pages of the manga and hoped that I was right. A story about creepily drawn characters who got involved in such horrifying incidents. An incident known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic in human history. Is this drawn so grotesquely because the incident itself is that grotesque? Anyway, the beginning of this creepy manga starts with this sentence. The tragedy of Host Peak Academy was simply the trigger. At first, the uprising by the Reserve Corps students that triggered the tragedy of Host Peak Academy was initially hoped to be resolved quickly, but the situation continued to escalate to dangerous extremes. The movement started spreading all over the internet and fostered a thriving online community. The community was not limited to students, and people of various races and nations began joining in. But the movement was not confined to the internet and began spreading and eroding the real world. When the movement started, it was indistinguishable from any other demonstration inspired by social unrest. But as it spread across the world, certain abnormalities soon came to light. By then, it was too late. The ends and the means had vanished. Wanton destruction became their only goal. The strong butchered the weak. The weak killed the weakest among them. And soon, the weak formed factions to brutally murder the strong. As the violence and death continued to spread, the shock of their actions began to disappear, as if the era was regressing to more uncivilized times. wherein senseless deaths were the norm. The media was oversaturated with deaths to the point where people would watch them while enjoying a meal. By the time the world realized what it had become, it was too late to stop what had happened. A feeling of immense despair began spreading and eventually engulfed the world. Acts of terrorism, coups d'etat, began occurring around the world. A war waged in the name of despair. A war fought not for principles, religion, or personal gain. Just war. Pure war. And because of that, there was no way to resolve it. How could a movement started by high school students progress to such a hopeless scenario? The only explanation is the existence of a certain organization devoted to a certain student who influenced Hope Peak Academy. A group called Ultimate Despair. Instead of using Hope Peak Academy's talents for the sake of mankind's hope, they used them for the sake of mankind's despair. Key members of society used their influence to brainwash the masses in order to spread despair. Tech-savvy computer programmers wrote software to spread despair. The powerful and influential created new values and morals to spread despair. And with this, they created the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. As long as ultimate despair exists, the despair engulfing the world will never end. The tragedy will never end. My heart was racing in my chest, but my body felt ice cold. And it wasn't because I was freezing in this room. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. This is definitely all made up. I mean, if this is really true, then what's happening in the outside world? My family, my friends, the convenience store I frequent, the nearby bookstore, my favorite restaurant. What's happened to them?
No way!
Hey, are you seriously yelling at a manga? How crazy are you? Who would enjoy reading something like this?
What?
Oh my, you don't like manga?
Whew.
A high school student who doesn't like manga is like an office lady who doesn't like to eat candy. Enough. What is this messed up manga? I thought you'd obviously know about such a horrible event that destroyed the world, but for you not to remember that, such despair. That's the Future Foundation's fault though. Thanks to them stealing your school memories. The incident that happened during the period has been completely removed from your brains. This incident really happened. And I actually forgot about it? There's no way that's possible.
What are you saying?
How many times do I have to tell you? All the clues here are real.
Hello.
Please understand, I'm rooting for you. If you don't learn about the full extent of the outside world, you guys will suffer from it. I just want to help you guys so you can live well-adjusted lives in the outside world. I see. So that's how it is. That's what he meant by what he said at the... That's what he meant by what he said at the beginning. He's trying to make us feel despair toward the outside world, so we'll want to stay on this island. But there's no way I'm going to do what he wants. Despair like that simply can't exist. The outside world should be filled with hope. Just like now. Perhaps... No, that's definitely it. Whether or not this incident really happened, what in the world is this ultimate despair group? They're devoted to a certain student who guided Hope Peak Academy to its destruction. Are they connected to both the tragedy of Hope Peak Academy? Plus, that organization isn't just one person, but a group of people. But if they're known as Ultimate Despair, they're high school students, right? Well, if they were actually able to do it, then I guess that's why they're called Ultimates. Then, are the killings were involved and connected to them as well? It's no use. I'm going to freeze to death. I'm at a limit. I need to get out of here. Shivering, I ran out of the freezing room. Ugh, that was close. I nearly froze to death. So where should I go next? Donde sea que el juego me deje, supongo. No, I should ignore it. I'm just going to pretend that I didn't see him.
Jeez.
When I went inside this room, a bastard bear was suddenly here. He keeps glancing at me. I wonder why. It's gonna be shitty either way.
Damn right.
So let you handle it. There's no way I'm gonna deal with that idiot. I don't want you to do that either.
Hiya!
Why hello, Hajime. I hope you're doing pleasingly well.
Pung pung!
Are you pleasingly well? You're pleasingly well, right? What are you doing here?
No, no!
Well, there was another thing I needed to tell you on this floor. I got bored of drawing manga. Can you forgive me for telling you by word of mouth? I should have done that from the beginning. I didn't want to read your manga in the first place. A high school student who doesn't like manga is like a sumo wrestler who doesn't like eating hot buns. I'm getting really fed up with your babbling. Hurry up. What did you need to tell me? It's about that key piece of information you've been waiting for so long.
What?
Surprise! It's about the ultimate despair. Huh? Ahem. Even though the term ultimate despair refers to a group these days,
Actually,
it was originally the title for a high school girl who was the most powerful, evil, and feared person alive. High school girl?
yes indeed!
Lady Junko Enoshima. Junko Enoshima?
Hey,
As the former ultimate despair, she created a despair brimming with charm and humor. Pero, murió. Digo. And created the ultimate despairs. There was one really horrible person in that group.
Don't fuck with me.
Hold on a sec. I don't know what the ultimate despairs are, but it's not that easy to form an organization. There's no way people would join some fucked up organization created by a high school girl.
unbelievable.
Humans who are obsessed with their philosophy have an uncanny power to attract others. It's a trait shared by many famous leaders throughout history, right? There's nothing strange about it.
Hey,
That holds true for Lady Junko. With her charismatic ability to attract people, she even influenced those in the highest echelons of power.
phew!
Her connections were the main reason that incident became detracted in the first place. So she even recruited people who would have been in a position to neutralize the traffic.
Huh?
What was the purpose?
Huh?
What? Like I said, why did they cause that incident? Doesn't even make sense. They had a purpose, right? There's no way to do that. They do what they did without any purpose.
Hey,
It was Junko Enoshima's despair. Huh? For Junko Enoshima, despair isn't about purpose, a set of principles, a way of life or an instinct. Despair is what defines Junko Enoshima as Junko Enoshima. What are you saying? I'm a stuffed plushie. Hajime's a human. It's exactly like that. Junko Enoshima is full of so much despair that she's truly hopeless. Living, dying, eating, loving. For her, everything is despair. What the hell? With her overwhelming force of personality, Junko recruited the ultimate despairs one by one. She controlled their despair by taking advantage of their love, hate, grudges, anything really. Junko's despair is far more dreadful than any other. that idea had been slammed right into their minds. And so, the ultimate despairs who had been recruited became nothing more than Junko's limbs. All despair, whether it was their own or anyone else's, was dedicated to Junko and Ashima. Like believers making offerings to their god. Like a mother providing food to her children. They dedicated all despair so they could escape from despair. All in Junko and Ashima's name. For example, they killed their families and friends, and even destroyed their bodies through relentless mutilation. And to hopelessly top it off, they completely believed it was something that they had to do. There's no way something that crazy is possible.
What?
Do you know about the final days of the Reserve Corps students during the tragedy of Who's Week Academy? Final days?
In other words,
Junko has the power to change people's values. This is also true of famous people throughout history. Hey, what do you mean final days? What happened to the reserve department?
of course.
They fulfilled their roles as disposable limbs. They believed in what they needed to do. And so, the 2,357 students of the reserve department all committed mass suicide. Mass suicide?
What'd you say?
All 2,357 students? Oops! It wasn't all of them. One person was excluded. One person was excluded, huh? Is that me?
Damn it!
I don't believe it. There's no way I can believe this. Ultimate despair. Junko and Oshima. This doesn't scare me at all. I mean,
Bastard!
Junko and Oshima's already dead. Huh? Hey, Fuyuhiko. Is it true what you said? Junko and Oshima is really dead? Sí, murió en el primero.
Huh?
What? You didn't see? There was a book called Manga for Morons Killing School Life in the Bloody Classroom. The Bloody Classroom? No, wait. What was that you said about the Killing School Life? Like the killings where we were involved in. Were killings that happened at Hope's Peak Academy. As I recall, the mastermind took her own life because the remaining students worked together to defeat her.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Killing School Life ended up failing in the end. As a result, 6 students who survived managed to escape from the academy.
Hey,
For a manga about the Killing School Life, it was drawn with a lot of silly images and dumb bags. According to that, the mastermind behind the failed Killing School Life was Junko and Oshima. The mastermind took her own life, which means Junko and Oshima is dead.
like...
Turns out that Killing School Life was part of that whole biggest, most awful whatever incident. Junko took away the memories of former students of Hope's Peak Academy, forced them to kill each other. Former students of Hope's Peak Academy. And she took away their memories. That's just like us. Apparently the whole thing was being filmed by surveillance cameras and broadcast worldwide. There's a limit to being a cruel asshole. If surveillance cameras are broadcasting the whole thing,
So...
the students of Hope's Peak Academy are widely known as symbols of hope. Forcing people to watch these symbols of hope kill each other for the sake of survival. They were trying to fill everyone who watched the broadcast with despair, all at once. That's messed up. But that messed up plan was stopped. Junko and Oshima failed. Junko lost to the students she placed on her track. And after being overcome by the despair she created, she took her own life. Then, Junko is no more. No matter how horrible she was, there's no reason to fear someone who's dead. Whether Monokuma's story is true or not doesn't matter.
Bastard!
Junko and Oshima isn't alive anymore. Then, who is our enemy? If Junko Enoshima is already dead, are the rest of the Ultimate Despairs behind this? Are the followers of Junko carrying out her will? That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, the killings were involved in resemble that killing school life. Well, I don't know who the hell is imitating Junko and making us go through this, but an imitation is just that. An imitation.
No shit!
If the students of Phobos Geek Academy stop the real deal, there's no way we'll lose to some fake. But if this really is an imitation, are those surveillance cameras the same too? The cameras all over Jabberwock Island. Are they broadcasting to somewhere? Just like the surveillance cameras during the killing school life? Man, Hajime, you totally knew about that story, huh? What? You have a problem with that? Well, I really wanted you to read the manga version since I took the time to draw it.
What are you gonna do?
Oh well, I'll just raise a flag. Flag? What do you mean raise a flag? What's going to happen if you do that?
Ooh, how exciting!
One step at a time. You're getting closer to taking my character route. You're not making sense again.
Well now,
I'll give you guys my all. I'll tell you everything I know, including information on the outside and the inside.
Yaha!
I'll raise them flags like crazy. What the
What?
What a surprise! Do you want to hear about the Ultimate Despairs again? No, I don't really need you to...
Hey,
He just started on his own.
Phew!
It's fine already. You don't have to keep explaining.
What?
I'm just getting to the good part. Good part or not, I already heard this from you before.